Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Kim's Slice of Life. I'm Kim, and this video is going to be about my wrap-up of this readathon that I did last week called Genrethon that was hosted by Scribble Reads on YouTube. Basically, it was a week-long readathon. It was my first readathon ever, and the rules were that you had to read at least 3 books, or try to read at least 3 books of different genres. Try to go outside of your box in a week amount of time, which I thought was okay. It was doable, and I was a little intimidated because I'm used to reading like 1 book a month, if that. But I've been trying this year, especially, to make more time for reading and to read more books, and BookTube has definitely been one of those motivators that have been opening my eyes more, and I've been really excited and more intrigued to read more books and different books. So Scribble Reads hosted this readathon along with 2 other YouTubers, which I will put the links down below of their YouTube channel so that you can get updated more, and I will update you as well on certain readathons that I'm going to be participating in. One in particular, which will be later on mentioned in this video, is the 24-hour Dewey Readathon. Now, that is exactly what it entails in the title, is that you read as much as you can for a 24-hour time frame, and you tweet about it, you blog about it. You get cheerleaders on Twitter where they cheer for you. They have prizes every hour. They have like mini challenges that you can do if you need like a break from reading. And I would also put the link to the website of that readathon so you can get a little more of a better idea of what it is about. Now, this readathon does start tomorrow. Today is the 22nd, Friday, and the readathon starts tomorrow morning in New York time, because this is where I'm located. But New York time tomorrow at 8 a.m. to 7:55 a.m. the next day, Sunday, the 24th. So I'm going to be participating in that and reading as much as possible. But let me backtrack a little bit and get back into where I was starting from, which is the Genrethon. So I wanted to wrap up and tell you my experience with that. I did not read 3 books. I almost completed my 3rd book, but I wanted to share with you what I did read. So this is the first book I read for Genrethon, called Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I got this from Costco. It's $10. I heard so many good things about this book on BookTube, and the fact that this movie is coming out, I think this summer, it made me really want to get my hands on this book and read it before the movie comes out. And I'm not going to go really into it, but this is a definite recommendation. This is my first book that I read by this author, but it was a good read. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It's a book that's going to get you in it emotionally, mentally, and there's certain like comments and annotations that I made in this book that I laugh at. I might do a review on this book, kind of a spoiler-free, or a in-depth review, which would be my first in-depth review on this channel, just because I did have a lot of opinions in this book, and I definitely wrote in it. And then my second book was a novel by Kay Gibbons called Ellen Foster. This was definitely a short read, a little bit harder to read because it was it's about a young girl's journey in a family where she had a drunk dad and a mom who had passed away when she was young, and it just shows how she went from house to house and where people had tried to take care of her, and the things that she went through from house to house until she finally reached a home. And in that way too, kind of broken down English, and it's a little bit hard to read for me because it was broken down English, and I kind of had to read it a little bit slower to kind of understand what was being said in the dialogue. And I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was a quick read. I finished it in about a day. So this those two were the books that I completed for Genrethon, and then I started reading The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls, and I'm halfway through it currently. I have not been reading since Genrethon, just because I felt like this was my first readathon that I had participated in, and it definitely got me into the zone of reading. It just, because I set a goal for myself, and I was so determined to finish that goal, and my goal was 3 books, and although I didn't finish those 3 books, I was still pretty happy and content that I finished 2 books in a week, because that is more books than I finish in a month usually. And I loved the sprints, the reading sprints, and that was really cool. I never dealt with that before, but I was following these booktubers that were hosting the event on Twitter, and every time I would get a notification where they would do book sprints for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, and I would participate with them, and it would motivate me to just read, even if it was for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or, you know, like during my lunch break or when I was about to fall asleep. So I definitely enjoyed the readathon. It was a good first readathon to participate in, and I'm so excited to keep going and doing the readathons, which is why I'm jumping right into Dewey's 24-hour readathon. So I wanted to show you my TBR for this readathon tomorrow, and I kind of went ham on these books. So am I going to finish all these books? Probably not, but I want to finish more than half. That's my goal. So, first book is The True Story of Hansel and Gretel by Louise Murphy. This is the true story, like as it says, about Hansel and Gretel. I wanted to get my hands on a kind of historical based novel, I guess to say, just because I haven't really touched or dabbed in that kind of genre of books, so I wanted to see if I like it and hopefully get something out of what I read. So that's that one. Next book I got from Barnes & Nobles is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. Now, all the booktubers that I follow love Lady Midnight and everything like that, and I've never heard of this author, and I'm not really like a fantasy sci-fi, I don't know, like I don't read books like that. You know, I didn't read Harry Potter, don't shoot me, but I didn't read Harry Potter, but I did read Hunger Games, and I did read Divergent and the series of that. But Cassandra Clare, like the way I see these books unfold, or the way that this author writes, is more for kind of in the path of Harry Potter or Twilight. And I never read any of those books, so this would be my first sci-fi or fantasy novel. Okay, and I picked this one up because this is the first book in the series for the Shadowhunters, which kind of goes into the world of Lady Midnight. So before I picked up Lady Midnight, I wanted to get my hands on this book so that I can A, get used to her writing, B, see if I even like it, and C, to just get into the Shadowhunter world, because although I know that the Lady Midnight and this book do not, or this series do not technically correlate, they're in the same world. So I want to know what this world is about before getting my hands on Lady Midnight. But I want to see if I like this book. And it's about a girl named Clary Frey who witnesses a murder made by 3 boys who have strange tattoos or markings on their skin. And they turn out to be demons. Oh, they turn out to be warriors that are dedicated to ridding the world of demons, or keeping the werewolves and the vampires in line. That's about. And then I picked up another fantasy novel, which is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. And again, this I've been doing my research, and I've been seeing that this is a good book to start off with for the Throne of Glass series before I get into that. These are the novellas of the Throne of Glass, so this is a good introduction book. It's not necessarily a introduction book. People have read the Throne of Glass series and then read this, and they said that it didn't really make a difference whether or not you read it before. But more people said that reading this would help you get into the series a little more smoothly in transition. So it's about an assassin named Selena, and she seems to be a badass. That's pretty much the gist of what I got from the synopsis here. So we'll see if I like this also before I get into that series. The next book I got is When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi. So this is basically about a neurosurgeon, I believe. Yeah, a neurosurgeon who was diagnosed with type 4 lung cancer. And it's about his views and his perspective about being a doctor, treating the ill and the people that are dying, and now becoming one of those patients. Like, just basically being on the other side of the table. That's what this is about. Her good things. The next book I got is called 1,000 Naked Strangers by Kevin Hazard. Now, these are short stories about a paramedic who worked in Atlanta and all his experiences as being a paramedic. And I am in the healthcare profession, so these two books definitely intrigued me because I just like reading medical-based books because I can learn something from them. I can understand where they're coming from, and it's just a good read. You know, these are short stories of this paramedic's experience, so I'm sure that this will be a fun, quick read. And it's a paramedic, and the things that they go through are pretty gory, they're pretty spontaneous, they're unexpected, they are adrenaline-based, so I'm sure I would like it. And the next couple of books I got are graphic novels. I got The Username Evie, where her father made a virtual reality world that she can escape from the real world to. So this is that. What's that about? And then I got this book, Mouse. And it's a survivor tale based on the Holocaust. And I just like the idea. I know a good amount of the Holocaust, but I like to just see how... I've never read a graphic novel, so these books are, again, new to me in my reading world, and I want to expand my horizons as far as reading certain books. So that's that. And then the last book, also a graphic novel called The White Donkey Terminal Lance by Maximilian Uriarte. And this is a graphic novel, and it's about a Marine and his journey to Iraq and back and how his life changes and the powerful experience and all of that good and bad jazz. Okay, so that's my TBR for Dewey's Readathon. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please like, subscribe, share, and if you're participating in the Dewey Readathon or would like to, please leave a comment below. Again, all the information to everything that I talked about will have links in the description box as well. Wish me luck tomorrow at 8 a.m. I'm going to be up bright and early. Right now it is 10:30. I'm about to go to sleep. Time for me to go night-night so that I can sleep and have enough energy to read my whole day through. I cleaned and I did my laundry and I have nothing to do tomorrow. Just for this. Oh, and I also got these little nice magnetic bookmarks of foxes. So I will be using these in my books. So please comment, like, subscribe. If you participate in any readathons or know of any coming up, please, 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 please let me know in the description box below. And have a wonderful night. Good night. Bye.